All right, we're going to work through 4 more word problems together, and that is the end of our day. So the first one here, again, Miss Lemare is going to read it through twice, and we are going to highlight key info. So Kimberly was born on February 2nd. That is 10 days earlier than Kent's birthday. When is Kent's birthday? So again, Kimberly was born on February 2nd. That is 10 days earlier than Kent's birthday. When is Kent's birthday? So we are going to highlight key info. There's Kimberly. She was February 2nd. 10 days earlier is Kent. We are going to write an expression for when Kent's birthday is. So we have K, and that one's going to be for Kimberly. And Kent's birthday is 10 days earlier. So if we thought of Kimberly's birthday, they told us it's February 2nd. So we have to think what's happening if here's our calendar and this is February 2nd. What's happening? Are we adding and going this way on our calendar? Or are we subtracting and going this way on our calendar? So for Kent, it's 10 days earlier. So then for this, we would be subtracting. So we're going to say K minus 10, and that's going to give us our answer of Kent's birthday. We're not actually going to solve for this one. This one's just an expression. Remember, these are called algebraic expressions. Next one. In 1975, a person earning minimum wage made $80 for a 40-hour work week. What was the minimum wage per hour in 1975? So again, I'm going to read it. We're going to highlight key info. In 1975, a person earning minimum wage, so that's amount that they earn for doing a job, made $80 for a 40-hour work week. So we're trying to find out what was the minimum wage. So we're going to figure out the wage per hour in 1975. So this one we're going to set up an equation. For a whole week, they made $80. And for that week, they worked 40 hours. We're going to do H for hours. So what's happening here is that each hour that they work goes towards their $80. So remember, if they work, I'm going to draw a better picture of this. If they work an hour, they get an amount. We don't know what that amount is. They work another hour, they get another amount. Another hour. So in this case, we're just, again, doing repeated addition until we get to that $80. And we don't know right now what each of these stands for. So that's what we're trying to solve right now, is how much, if you do an hour work, how much are they getting for that hour? So since we're doing repeated addition, they are going to be stuck together, multiplied. In between here, I have my invisible little multiplication symbol. And in order for us to solve, we're going to balance the equation, line down the middle. If they multiplied, we're going to do the opposite of multiply. So remembering what the opposite of multiply is, it is divide. Divide by 40. Divide by 40. Go to your calculator. So on this side we still have our hours. This side, 80 divided by 40 was 2. So what that means for this problem is that for every hour that they worked, they earned $2. That's not very much, but we need to remember this was 1975. So this was a long time before you guys were born. So the wages were a lot different then. So for every hour someone worked in 1975, they earned $2. That was the average. All right, our third one. The Green Bay Packers. I know. You guys can boo right now. That's okay. The Green Bay Packers and the Kansas City Chiefs played in the first Super Bowl in 1967. The Chiefs lost by 25 points with a final score of 10. How many points did the Packers score in the first Super Bowl? So again, the Green Bay Packers and the Kansas City Chiefs played in the first Super Bowl in 1967. The Chiefs lost by 25 points. They had a final score of 10. So we're trying to figure out how many points did the Packers score. So we're trying to solve for P, how many points the Packers scored. And we know that the Chiefs had a score of 10. And they lost by 25 points. So they were less than 25 points. So we're trying to figure out what the score was that the Packers had. So go ahead and set up your equation to look like this. Now we're going to balance it out. Line down the middle. If we subtracted 25 in the equation, remember we're going to do the opposite to cancel it out. So on this side we still have P for the Packers. Their score would have been 35. So let's kind of check that and make sure that makes sense. If the Packers had 35 and the Chiefs had 10, does that make sense? Because they said here that the Chiefs lost. So that would be true. If they only had 10 and they had 35, that's true that they lost. So that makes sense. We can move on. All right, our last one for today. If an ostrich could maintain its maximum speed for 5 hours, it could run 225 miles. How fast can an ostrich run? So again, key info. If an ostrich could maintain its maximum speed for 5 hours, it would run 225 miles. So we're trying to figure out how fast is it running. So what's happening in this one is that we have 5 hours. Here's an hour, here's an hour, here's an hour, hour, hour. And under each of these, he's doing so many miles. We don't know how many miles. We just know at the end of it, he did a total of 225. So all together, these are going to equal 225 miles. So we're trying to figure out how many miles did he do per hour. So we know that there were 5 hours, and it was a total of 225 miles. So what's happening here, like we said before, is this is repeated addition. We're adding. So when we do repeated addition, we know that it is multiplying. So 5 times, this represents the hours, times the miles, gives us 225. I'm going to resize this so I have room to work. So 5, again, these are squished together. There's a little invisible times there. Is 225. Balance my equation. If I multiplied by 5 on this side, I should divide by 5. Divide by 5. This side I still have m. This side I need to figure out 225 divided by 5. So that means that for every hour he ran, he went the distance of 45 miles. So that means down here, he did 45 miles, 45 miles, 45 miles, 45 miles, 45 miles. And again, if we multiply 45 times 5, or if you went 45 plus 45 and kept going, you would end up with your answer of 225. So check that matches. All right. Thanks for working on those with me today. Again, nothing to submit. This was some additional practice, especially with word problems. Those can be difficult for us. So thank you for working through those with me, and I hope you guys have a good rest of your day, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.